Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Levi, and welcome to The Political Professor. I'm going to show you the tools that I use to cut through all the BS and find the truth so that you can also use these same tools. That way you don't have to listen to some talking head on the TV telling you what the truth is. You can find it out for yourself. So these are some of the things I wanted to show you about where I go to cut through the BS that I know is truth. Okay? And one of the places you can go to, obviously, is whitehouse.gov. In the briefing room, you can look at legislation that's passed, press briefings, speeches and remarks. They record everything. Well, they're supposed to. So it's all in here. And that's how I knew that as soon as Biden got back from Saudi Arabia, we sold them weapons. So an example, remarks by President Biden on lowering gas prices. And Mr. Deese is our energy secretary, Brian Deese. You might know him by the controversial comment he recently made about the liberal New World Order. Anyway, so right here, he's having a conversation about gas prices and so forth, and you can see the whole thing. The other one is YouTube has all of the briefings, speeches, and everything. So somehow Google or Alphabet Inc., and I'll show you why they probably got it later, but everything's here. So this is the archive now for this sort of material. You can also search for, so we got the Trump White House archive, go to videos, and it doesn't, the search bar, or the scroll bar here doesn't look like there's a lot there, but if you watch, smaller and smaller and smaller. There's a lot here, okay? So you can get it from the source. You don't have to get it from Fox News or CNN or any alphabet agency that's just one-sided and wants to tell you their side of the story and make you believe whatever they want you to believe. Open Secrets, this is the site I love. Let's go to elections and fundraising data, presidential elections. 2016. So you can see in 2016, Hillary Clinton received over $500 billion in money. Trump won with 333 plus another 100,000 from outside money. So he was telling the truth there. Let's go back to presidential races. Look at the 2020. Joe Biden. Holy smokes. And 580 billion. Wow. I did not realize. Trump got 773 million. Wow, look at that number. That's insane. Okay, let's go to really quick groups, organizations, top contributors to the 2020. Let's just do 2020. Bloomberg contributed a lot. I'm looking for Alphabet Inc. So let's just search for them. So their lobbying contributions are insane. Look at this the amount of money that they spent. I don't even know if this counts. Let's see, top affiliates, Google X, Google Nest, Google Cloud. Okay, Google, Fitbit. So this might include all of them. Oh, wow. Man, look at that money. Let's go to 2016. Oh, man. This gets worse. Okay, let's go to 2020. Top recipients. The Democratic National Committee, Senate majority, and this all blue right here means it's Democrat, all Democrat. Let's do 2016. Wow. Again, you can see where the money went, how much. I mean, and to personal people too. Look, Chuck Schumer, 176,000. So let's look up Facebook, which is now called Meta, of course. In 2022 alone, they ranked 7 in lobbying. That's nuts. Let's look at their 2020 contributions. Joe Biden, 1.5. DNC services, they threw Bernie something, and that nice of them. As you can see, the 2 contributors to the Democratic Party have been the largest tech companies in the world. Okay, think about that. And that's why I look at this and I see that Alphabet Inc. or Google contributed so much money. And then where are all the archives at? What do you know? YouTube. Interesting. No conspiracies here, just pointing out the facts. And this will roll right into my next video about misinformation and Facebook censoring, along with Google searches being inaccurate. How you search for one thing in Google and it only shows you so much. How does it know what to show you when there's millions and billions of answers out there, right? Another good place to find information, since Twitter, which I believe should be charged. I believe as soon as Trump became president and started using the Twitter platform to be presidential, if you will, that became something that should be part of our national archives, right? Somebody has went along and archived a bunch of Trump's tweets. So you can go back here and look at his tweets or debunk someone else's bullshit. This is a site that I almost forgot about. This is the first place I went to when I was doing the oil video. And it is a government website that keeps track of all things energy, all things imported, exported. It's just a wealth of information. And EIA stands for Energy Information Administration. So you just go to EIA.gov, hit up their menu. I'm not going to go make a very long video about how to use this site because honestly, I'm barely getting to know it. But let's go over here. Imports from Russia of crude oil and petroleum products. Okay, so you got to pay attention to stuff like that. See here, let's zoom out some. You could download these graphs and use them. You come down here and it's available by month. Joe Biden took office 2020. All right, and these are millions of barrels. And then, of course, no more for May. We stopped in May. EIA just is a really good website. You can type in anything. You can get graphs. You can download stuff. It's just, this is the information that you guys can use to verify what I'm saying or to verify what you have heard or even discredit what you have heard and shown the other person proof. And please do it in a way that's not attacking, that's informative, because we really need to stand together and be together as we watch a government that is going out of control using technology. So I hope you enjoyed the information I've given you. I hope that it helps. And if you find this information valuable, will you please give me a like and let's beat that evil YouTube algorithm that's out to get us, right? Because YouTube is owned by Google, who donates the most. Oh, oops, didn't mean to go here. What's this say though? Biden's going to pay down the national debt for the first time in 6 years. That's good. Okay. So let's go to Congress. Congress.gov. Now these sites are, this is a hard one to get through. But as you can see, it was introduced, passed the Senate, passed House, went to the president, and became law. Sponsor was Chuck Schumer. So what's this about? This joint resolution increases the public debt limit by $2.5 trillion. He's going to pay down the deficit, though. Anyway, let's cut through the bullshit. Here's something. Be interested. Look this up. HR 5376. HR stands for House Resolution. It became law. There's a lot to this. Well, you can read the whole thing here. It's lengthy. It talks about tax credits and for qualifying zero emissions nuclear power, which is that's another video I'm going to make. That oil video, it's so long and intense. It may have to be broken down into sections. There's no way that solar and wind can possibly replace what we have going on now. Absolutely no way. And the energy secretary under Obama himself, I have him saying that the billions and trillions or whatever amount of money that they spent on wind and solar, they kept running into the same problem, that it just wasn't viable. And when I've been digging around in Congress and Senate.gov, and I looked at the budget, and there's money set aside for nuclear power. So, at least, thank God, because I don't know what we're going to do about the 6,000 things that we use on a daily basis that are made out of petroleum, plastics, and your cell phone. I mean, tires. Senate.gov. This is where kind of mirrors Congress. You can also find congressional stuff through Senate.gov. But the Senate stuff is usually labeled with an S. So if you looked up S.3373 and it comes up with, let's go with latest action, newest to oldest, PACT Act. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Law 3373 was the PACT Act. If you haven't seen it yet, it's the video I covered about how the House changed what it was a Senate drafted bill, and the House changed it, sent it back to the Senate, and then the Senate said no, and then all the vets camped out in front of the building, the Capitol building, and Jon Stewart came out and made a big deal about it. Everybody blamed the Senate. Well, this is how I proved that it was actually the House. So anyway, 3373 was the number. You can look at the PDF of it. Control F, you can search by putting in Control F and look for, discretionary. I can't spell. Looks for direct. Subsection C, if you've watched my video, that's the extra money left over. All right. And it's going to be treated as direct spending. And if you know what the difference between direct spending and discretionary spending is, direct spending means that it's done. It doesn't get revoted on. It's like Social Security. It's set in stone. Okay. That's what the Democrats did. It came back to them as discretionary spending through the Senate drafted bill. And then they changed it to direct spending, meaning that for the next 10 years, they could possibly get 40 billion each year, equaling out 40 times 10. Let me see the math. I think that's about 400 billion after they just passed 1.2 trillion. All right. Truth finders, keep going. All right. The Congressional Budget Office. This is where they keep track of everything that's being spent. Let's look at topics. See if I can find you something. Climate environment. All right. Let's see if we can find something in here. Summary. The CBO estimates that enacting this legislation would result in a net decrease in the deficit total of 102 billion. Well, that's a good thing, actually, right? How's he going to do it? Well, it's all laid out right here. And I can tell you right now, I've already read it. It's taxes, 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 and more taxes on corporations. He's spending a ton of money on hiring some 85,000 armed IRS agents. So you can see this is a long document, but it details out all the spending right here. So cbo.gov for a place to go. Now, as always, keep an open mind, take a step back, look at things from a different perspective, okay? Stop taking party sides. Stop. These party lines is bullshit, okay? They both do disgusting things. They're both complicit. The Senate still passed that and gave them all that money when they could have walked outside and talked to the veterans and talked to Jon Stewart and talked to their families and said why. But instead, they sit their staffers. Keep an open mind, keep an open heart, take a step back. And again, as always, stay free.